Always exciting things happening at the Ottawa School of Art, and not only just, at the Ottawa School of Art, but for my next guest personally as well, because he's got another brand new book coming out very shortly. November 16th is the big book launch. Here to tell us more about that and what's happening at the school, David Curran back here on the show. How are you, David?
Hey, it's just great to be back here, Derick.
Yeah, I love having you, because there's no one that I've met, and I've been doing this a long time, that's more enthusiastic about art than you are. And there's so many benefits, and I think we're often intimidated by it. And I wanted, for viewers that, have not been introduced to you, I think that's kind of your philosophy, right? Is don't be intimidated and just go out and do it.
Oh, totally. I mean, it's a tangible thing, right? You just and nothing bad's going to happen if you sort of play around with any kind of medium, do anything creative. It's just all good news, right? I mean, right. I'm a painter, but that's only just one branch of creativity, if you like, right? But it's a do it thing, right? Yeah. And the great things happen once you actually start doing art, right? If you start thinking about it, it kind of bulks, right? So you gotta get out there and do something. Right?
A great summer at the Ottawa School of Art. Moving into fall, I imagine there's new workshops. So what exciting things are coming up?
Actually, it's great. I mean, the courses have started, right? Okay. So that's running, right? But there's lots of short courses and workshops. They're all on the website, and there's masses, and it's like really diverse, right? There's photography, there's painting, there's drawing, figure drawing, there's even reusing old clothes, holiday art for the holidays, right?
Nice.
Yeah, and I've got a couple of workshops
jewelry
too.
Making, I think, things like that too, sculpting. And so forth.
There's just everything.
What have you got?
And I've got two workshops with my wife France. We're running two workshops. One at the end of October, which is on Impressionism, and it's a painting workshop, but we're kind of themed on the Impressionist era. And then in November we've got one on our great Thomson and Emily Carr, and again how modernism took hold in Canada, and doing some painting too as well. I just want to emphasize they're not kind of theoretical workshops; they're painting fun events. Yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned that. It's not that the theory's not fun, for some, but
no. Well, my thing is getting inspired by people who have done it, right? So we use some of the lessons that they can teach us, and just be inspired by their great images to create things ourselves, right?
Right.
In fact, we'll perhaps do a little bit of that today as well.
Let's do a little painting today. So what are we going to be doing? Because you've got this, so I'm guessing we're ready
to go. Yeah.
Okay.
So the thing is, I thought we'd do something with acrylic today, right?
Okay.
So it's a very popular painting medium, right? And we all get our canvases from the store. Here they are, right?
Yeah.
And they're pristine white. Right. So what we tend to do, a lot of folks, right, is just start painting, right?
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that, but I would argue there's a better way, or a way to try, right?
Okay.
And the thing is, what I always do is I always put some kind of tone on my canvas first, right? So all my work has got that kind of something behind it, right?
And what's the purpose of that?
Well, it's essentially a free brush. It gives you something that you can't get from a white canvas.
Right.
And I didn't make this up, because of course before white canvases were white, canvases were all sorts of colors, and people made their own, right? And even if they got them from someone, they weren't as pristine as white as we've got, right? So going back in time, painters were more used to this, but the idea of starting with a little bit of a base painting is always really, really useful to get an image to form. So that's what I thought we'd do. So I've got this, right? So I've already put a bit of paint on this canvas, and I've formed a little image, right? And some folks might recognize that what we've got here is I just put a couple of marks in here, right? right? What we got is the idea of Tom Thomson's West Wind, right? There are lots of so just bringing the thing to life with all the foliage that was there, right? So
what is this style? What would this be called, David?
I would call it post-impressionism. Really, I mean, all the group of 7 painters, you would really say they followed the lead of impressionists, and actually Tom Thomson, you know, sort of a little earlier in his career, you know, did some work which was really quite impressionist, right? There's a lot of what they call Art Deco in as well. So they were following some of the prevalent styles of the day,
right?
But they painted Canada, right? That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
And they were the first group of painters to actually sort of treat that as something, you know, like really serious to paint about, right? So,
well, and you know what's amazing too is, you know, when you see these paintings and then you are out in nature, right? And maybe you're camping or you're at a cottage or you're visiting a friend, wherever you are in nature, all of a sudden you start seeing exactly what they've been painting, right?
Yeah.
And you get this wonderful image in your mind.
Yeah.
My wife and I see it all the time. It's incredible.
That's totally.
Right?
Actually, I'm on one of my little trails, right? There's a spot where it looks just like one of Tom Thomson's painting, and I'm just waiting for the trees to fall a little bit and take a photo of that. But we'll see.
And do you often just paint using a photo, or sometimes it's just an image in your mind?
Myself, what I like to do is to get out and do some painting in nature, right? So actually, this is one of my paintings here, right? That just so you see that. I've started the same way with a base here, right?
Yeah,
And so I will develop a painting like this, and then maybe interpret it in the studio a little bit later. Right. So
okay, we're going to take a quick break. Yeah. David is back for another segment, so you stay tuned because we're going to talk a little bit more about Tom Thomson and tell you about a wonderful book he and his wife France have created. We'll be back with that right after this. Don't worry. Welcome back. I have never thought of myself as artistic at all when it comes to painting or drawing, and this is how much confidence David Kern has in me, and that whenever he comes on the show, he's like, "I'll get you involved." So you're gonna walk me through a little something. So what am I going to add to this painting?
Just a few minutes to do the whole thing, right? So we'll see where we get. So so what I thought I'd do is get you to put the water in, right, with this kind of grayish paint, right? There we go.
And is there any technique I should be?
I just generally keep your brush moving to the sideways, but put plenty of paint on just to use it on the side. That's the idea. That's exactly what we're doing, right? All right. And while you're doing that,
and obviously going in between, right?
That's right. So the way it's set up with the base here, right? That we got a little bit of a tone. I put the main image in. It makes it a little bit more tricky to put this in.
Yes.
Right, because you can't just put your brush back and forward over it as if you'd started that way. But you can see it already looks like water, doesn't it? Already, right? That's right. So just
I feel pretty good about this so far.
Right. So as well as that, right? If I look in the painting, look, he's used the same colour in the sky for these gloomy clouds. So let's do that too. Okay. Let's just put some in the sky, right?
All right.
And and the clouds tend to have sort of some white in above them, right? So I'll put some of that in as well, right? So
this is great.
It just.
So for people that aren't familiar with Tom Thomson, you and your wife have written this brand new, wonderful book. Why Tom Thomson in particular? You know, there's a lot of artists, as you just discussed, that are within that era. What stood out to you about Tom Thomson?
Well, it's funny, when I first came to Canada and I was in Montreal looking at the Montreal Museum of Fine Arts, right? You know, I think Tom Thomson's work stood out.
Okay.
And France, from her experience going to the National Gallery as school, found inspiration with Tom Thomson too. So we found we had Tom Thomson in common.
Okay.
And so throughout our experience in the arts and the workshops that we've been running, we've done like over 150 workshops together, right?
Right.
We've themed them on master painters, and Tom Thomson has been at the core of that, right? So our book is he was a natural great for us to look at, right? And the book's about our conversations about his paintings, right?
Oh, really?
So
okay.
it's an interaction between the two of us is at the core of that.
Right.
I've put some history in. I've put some things about the art movements of the time, and there's and some anecdotes. But the core of the book is our conversations about his work, right? Which is wonderful.
I
right?
love that idea.
Yeah. So it's called Creative Surge 3 Winters with Tom Thomson.
Yeah, and there's the book cover right there.
Yeah,
right
that's the publicity.
That's the publicity.
That's the publicity. I actually have our first draft.
Oh, nice.
Not unbound, but the general look and feel will be like this, with
nice.
sort of some extensive sort of paintings and also our conversations.
Nice. And that book launch is coming up November the 14th, right?
November the 14th at the Ottawa School of Art. And the Ottawa School of Art are sponsoring the book as well. I should
wonderful.
mention that.
And new exhibitions coming up downtown and in Orleans, is that right?
Yeah, there's 2 wonderful exhibitions coming up. There's one, Rosalie Faville, she's a Manitoba, Métis background, and it's a very personal exhibition, mixed media, quite delightful and engaging and thought-provoking.
Nice.
And she's a really well-known Canadian artist, right?
Right.
And then in Orleans, there's an exhibition by Mayuko Ona-Gray, who's an American Japanese artist.
Okay.
That's done these massive charcoals, looking at different aspects of the Western and Eastern culture. And I tell you, both of these exhibitions are spectacularly stunning.
Nice.
They're really thought-provoking and interesting too, but the art is spectacular.
Can't wait
visually.
to see them. Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah,
shall we try to add a little bit more to this? What do you want to do?
It's always great. It's always great to put a little bit of colour on, right? So so there is quite a bit of blue in the sky there. So I've got some blue there for you, Derick. And while you're doing that, I will just I'll put a few red accents on as well, right? And
Right.
So it's actually that blue kind of swings its way down. If you look at how he tackled it, right? It just kind of comes down. So
I see.
In fact, at this stage, what I tend to do is just try and cover up a little bit of the base.
Okay.
But not all.
So
right?
So a couple of times I've sort of hit some green there by mistake.
That's okay, because you can just go back in and I can just go back in and fix it afterwards, right? But the great thing of doing this kind of thing, right, is that I'll just add a little bit more paint so we got the idea there, right? You can see I'm almost using the same color, just to fill in a little bit where things are going, right? Because as you start filling in, but still seeing that background, it's not, what it does is the background actually holds it all together, because it acts like a little bit of a matrix, right?
And then, I guess for the water, then that's when you start adding sort of these little light highlights.
Yeah,
right?
So once we got the water in, right, we can start putting some little wavelets in as well, right? And Tom Thomson did this when his
look at that.
Right? So with a
Just running out of time here, Dan. I just want to remind everybody at home, davidkern.com/Tom Thomson. You can find out more about the book. That book launches November the 14th. And, of course, artottawa.ca for all the workshops, everything that they have to offer. It's an incredible experience. We'll be back with more right after this.